Good evening, Baruch haba, welcome, shalom. We welcome you to the advanced Hebrew class and our grammar class. And tonight we are continuing our study on participles. And so just a quick review of what a participle is. This is not a participle, this is a verb. This is a verb. And the Hebrew verb comes in several different stems, which we'll learn about later, but just for those who have been here and been studying with us, and you remember that this is called the kal stem of the verb. And what is the kal stem? Well, the kal stem is the simple form of the verb, or the root. So this will be the kal stem, the simple form of the root. This is the main verb. And the key to the kal stem is this vowel configuration right here. You see this vowel configuration right here. This is the secret, more or less, to tell you that you're looking at a verb. Okay? Now, for every rule, there is an exception. So don't be shocked when sometimes you'll see different things. Same thing is true when we're talking about participles. What is a participle? A participle is a verb acting as an adjective. So you take a verb and you make it into an adjective. And the way you do that is you take the verb, in English, you take the verb and you will add the ending ing. So the verb running, run. The verb to run. Okay? Now, of course, you're going to double the end here, right? Okay? So it will become running. So, you would say, Josh, run to the store. Okay? Or Josh runs to the store. So I'll share with you each grammatical part. Alright, so Josh is called the subject, it's a noun. It's a noun, and this is the subject. That is, this is the one, this is the emphasis of the sentence is on this one. Runs is the verb. To is a preposition. And to the store is a prepositional phrase. The first part is called the subject. The second part of the sentence, which includes the verb and the prepositional phrase, is called the predicate. So you have the subject and you have the predicate. You have the noun, which is actually a proper noun because it's his name. So you have a proper noun connected to the verb, the subject, the verb, and the preposition. Alright? So, what is Josh doing? He's running. Okay? He's running. So, in saying this, this is the way it works as an adjective, because remember that an adjective is a descriptor. It gives you definition. It gives you information concerning the noun. So, I'm giving you information. I am describing Joshua. Now, I'm not describing him in the normal form of an adjective, which would be to give him color, number, any of those kinds of things. Okay? When Joshua was in high school, his freshman year, he played basketball. And because he was a little bit chunky, but he was surprisingly quick on his feet. And so he would surprise the opponents because they thought because he was a little bit big that he wouldn't run so fast. He could actually run pretty quick. He would run fast. And so he would run down the court when they would steal the ball or whatever. He would automatically just run down the court to the other side and cut in front of the guy and then stand there and take the charge. And so I don't know how many penalties were called on the opposing team because they didn't realize that Josh was that quick, and he would beat him down the court, and then he would stand there and the guy would run into him. The guy with the ball would run into Josh. Josh would fall down. He would pull the ginobili flop. He would fall down, and he would take the charge. He would make saves. Okay, they were going to be hit. They would hit the ball like to out of bounds, and Josh would fly down there and save the ball. And so he would do. So his teammates came up with a name for him. They called him the White Flash. Okay, for real. That was his name. That was his nickname. They called him the White Flash. Okay, and so ever since then, his superhero hero is the Flash. Okay, so that's why he dresses the way he does sometimes. Anyway, so saying all of that, the white boy. Okay, so not being racist here. That was his term, the White Flash.
Is he still the Flash?
I think he was a flash in the pan. The flash part has kind of slowed down a little bit. But anyway, so the White Flash. By the way, the reason why they called him the White Flash, not being racist, but he was the only white boy on the team, so he was the White Flash. All right. So, this is your usual adjective, the descriptor. The adjective flashes the noun. The is the definite article. Okay, so you have the definite article, you have the adjective, and now you have the noun. Okay? Letty's very thankful she's not having to translate tonight.
No, I wasn't even alright.
Okay, now, so this is the normal adjective. I want to take the verb and turn that into the descriptor. Okay? So, the noun, running. So I could say the running boy. Correct? And what I've taken is, this is the verb. By adding ing, this turns the verb into a participle. And the whole thing becomes an adjective. It acts as an adjective. It is describing the boy. It is telling you what the boy is doing. The running boy. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember. Well, can you get my coffee right over here, please? I don't know how many of you would remember Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, I do.
Do you remember Captain Kangaroo? Joey's favorite, his fave. There was an animal on Captain Kangaroo that they used a participle to describe this animal, and he was called Dancing bear. How many of you remember Dancing Bear?
Yeah.
Dancing Bear was a big bear. And he would come out, they would start playing music, and he would come out and he would be dancing, and he would dance and dance and dance and dance, and then the music would end and he would go back. Okay, so this character named Dancing Bear. Joey, you don't remember Dancing Bear?
Trying to.
You're trying to. You're not a real Captain Kangaroo fan. You're a counter. Alright, so dancing, the verb is what? The verb is dance. Okay, so you take the verb, you add ing, that makes it the participle. Okay, so now you have, it's acting as a descriptor to the noun. So it is acting as an adjective. Okay, everybody with me? So that's kind of a repeat of what we have been studying. This is the way a participle acts. The participle acts the same way in Hebrew. Okay, it acts. You change a verb. You change the verb form. What you're going to do is you're going to take the call stem, the simple form of the verb, and you're going to change it. You're going to change the vowels, the phonetics of it. The root will basically stay the same. You're going to change the phonetics of the vowels and turn it into a participle. Okay? So, does everybody have this? Anybody need this? You know what I'm talking about. Any questions? So, we've gone over this. This is verb, constant, simple form. So, do you know what verb this is?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the verb?
Shema.
Shama. Everyone say Shama.
Shema.
We'll go ahead and do it tonight. This is one that we gave you a couple of weeks ago, okay? So, give it to me.
Shema. Shin.
Shin.
And.
So you have Shama. And you remember what Shema is. This is to guard or to keep. Keep my commandments. Shema. So the last time we spoke to this, we ended up, I gave you the participle, the masculine participle form. Okay? So the masculine participle form is that you you're going to change it, okay? So this is the way it looks presently, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to insert, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to insert a dot over the shin, over the left side of the shin. So the shin will actually be carrying two dots. And this dot, when you see a dot like this, not the shin dot, but when you see this dot like this, over one of these letters, it is called a cholem. And it represents the vav cholem. Or the cholem vav, which is the O sound, the long O sound. So that's what this is. This is the cholem vav. Now, when you're reading, and because this becomes problematic because you have a shin, and and it's got two dots, and so this confuses people sometimes if you're not being careful. That is this a shin? Is this a sin? What is this? Because the shin, if you remember, the shin and the sin are the same letter. It's the S letter, shin or sin, depending on where this dot is, depending on where this mark is. So normally, if the mark is on this side, it is a shin. If it's on the right side, it's the SH sound, shin. If it is on the left-hand side, it is the S sound, sin. Okay? So you have shin and you have sin. Same letter, just depending on where the mark is. It's kind of like the bay, whether it's got the dagesh in it or not. If it's got the dagesh in it, it's a B. If it doesn't have the dagesh in it, it's a V. So basically the same thing here, but the dot stays there, the mark stays there, it just moves from side to side. So right side is shin, left side is sin. When I have a shin and it's got two marks, the second mark, the first mark is telling you that it's the letter shin. The second mark is going to be a cholem. It's going to be the O sound. It's going to be the vav. But this is a shortcut. Wherever you have a cholem, you can insert the vav. Okay? You can insert the vav. So I could write it like this. I could write it like that. I could put the vav in there. But most texts that you read, they're not going to. They're going to put it like this. It's just a dot above the letter, and that tells you that it's the O, that the vav belongs there, but it's not there. In our Exodus 19, chapter 19 studies, we're not there yet. We'll get there in a little bit, in a few weeks, on Shabbat. There is a word there that is translated voice. But it is actually in the Hebrew, it's in plural form, it would be voices. But it is written vavless. The vav, it actually has two vavs in there. So we'll get into that. I don't want to confuse you, but just letting you know that what we're speaking about tonight is coming up in our Exodus studies concerning the vav and the missing vavs. And the rabbis speak to that, why the vavs are missing in this passage of Scripture. So you have a shin, and I believe I'm correct that if you have the sin, that they're not that rather than putting in another just a cholem, another dot, they said they're going to put the vav. Because they would, having two dots side by side like that, I believe that was my understanding. But if you have a shin, you know that this dot belongs to the shin. This will be a cholem. Now you have the mem, and you will lose this A, and it will become a tzedek. And the tzedek is the two dots side by side. So you have the cholem, and you have the tzedek. So you go from shama to shomer. So you've gone from, remember I told you that this was to guard or to keep. So you've gone from guard or to keep. You've gone from shama to shomer. So to translate this into English, translate this from Hebrew to English, guard or keep.
Guard.
So,
Guard, regarding.
guarding or keeping. Shomer Torah,
Guarding, keeping Torah.
keeping Torah. Guarding Torah. Now remember that the preposition, not the preposition, the participle can occur in the subject, where it comes directly before the noun, or it can occur in what is called the predicate. Remember the predicate? That was the second part of the sentence. So I can say the running boy, or I can say the boy is running. It's still a participle, and it's still describing the boy. It's giving action to the boy, but it's giving definition. It's describing as a descriptor of the boy. What is the boy doing? The boy is running. So, this shomer, this is the form of singular masculine participle. This is the, what would you call it? The formula. This is the formula for a singular masculine participle. What is that? That you take, the X stands for any consonant in masculine form. These are the vowel markers. So this is the constant vowel, or the what? Simple form of the vowel. The first letter will receive the cholem, the second letter will receive the tzed, and then the third letter remains the same. Okay, you see what I've done here? Look at this right here. You have the cholem, same thing here, the shin. Okay, you have the cholem, the first letter receives the cholem, the second letter receives the tzed, and then the third letter remains unchanged. The consonants remain the same. All that we've done is we've taken the vowels, we've changed it into a cholem and a tzed. And this is the formula. So this is going to be, when you see this formula, the cholem and the tzed, this is a marker to you that this is a singular masculine participle. Now, remember that an adjective that is next to the noun, and the adjective must match the noun in gender and number. Okay? So, how do I match it? How do I match it in number? So, we have a plural word. So let's say that the noun is plural. For example, we want to say, the soldiers are guarding. The soldiers are guarding. Okay? So, how do you, we know that this is masculine form, right? This is masculine form. So how would you say, how do you turn a noun, a masculine noun into a plural, a singular masculine noun into a plural masculine noun? Do you remember? I am, okay? So you would take a word, magin, not a good word, yomin, yom, which is what? This is a noun.
Day.
It's the word day. And so how do I make it plural? Yomin. And literally, it would be yomin. They take the Y out because it's redundant in English in a translation or whatever, but literally in the Hebrew, this is the way it would be. Because I would take okay, so I have yom. Everybody see this? Okay, yud, vav, mem. This is vav, cholim. So yud, vav, cholim, mem, yom. So what do? I put the I vowel here. I put another yud here, and I double the mem. And now it's plural, yomim. And this is why this extra yud here, this is why I say this is literally how it would be translated, if it's letter for letter, okay? Yomim. So, I'm going to do the same thing here, because this is going to match. This is going to be matched with this. Okay? The participle is going to match the noun in gender and in number. So the noun is plural. Are you with me? The noun is plural, masculine. So I'm going to have to take this word, shamad, and make it plural, masculine. So how am I going to do that? Well, everything's going to stay, all the consonants stay the same, so you can do that. Shamad. Excuse me?
You're changing it, right, to match the...
Yes. But before I get there, because it's a participle, the cholem stays. So that should be a key to you. That should be a clue to you. Because it's going to be a participle, the cholem will stay. Just like you have the cholem here, okay? Now you're still going to have the cholem here. That's going to stay the same. What's going to change is, hang on just a second. What's going to change is because I'm going to add on to the end, right? So I've got to do something with this end, which is tzedek. Very good. Tzedek changes to a sheva. Which means what? Cut off. Very good. I'm very proud of you. You remember that from like 3 months ago. All right. So now you have shon. Everybody say shon. That is the shin, the cholem, the mem, the sheva. Shon. Because the sheva says cut it off. There's no vowel sound. You're going to go from consonant sound to consonant sound. Shon, r. Very good. It has to follow. So I put this here, I put this here, and I put the mem sofi. Shomrim. Everyone, shomrim. And this is plural, masculine. Participle. Shomrim. Isn't there a town or a village in Israel called Shomrim? Sounds familiar. Shomron? Samaria. All right. Everybody with me? Okay. Ready to throw the wrench into the works. You have all of this. So, shamar is in what form?
Singular masculine.
Singular masculine. What if I'm talking about a lady, a female soldier?
You have to add the name.
To turn it into a participle, the cholem stays put. Even feminine.
But for singular?
Yes, the cholem will always be there. Whether it is a participle, whether it is a singular, masculine, plural, masculine, singular, feminine, plural, feminine, this will always change to this. The cholem will always be there at the beginning of the participle. It will always be on the first letter. So that's going to be your first sound, your first vowel sound is going to be O. Now there are two ways to do singular, feminine. The first is this. Okay, so we have this here. Everybody see this? I have this here. What I'm going to do, because remember that there are two ways to make something feminine. There are two ways to make something feminine. To add a hey or a taf. Okay? Remember that when you pluralize a feminine, you add the ot, the top, the tet at the end, not the top, the tet at the end. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the tet at the end of the word.
You're right, at the top.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, yes. I'm confusing myself again. And these two are going to take a double symbol. So you're going to double the symbol.
Shomeret.
Shomeret. Because remember, when you have two sigil next to each other, when you have two of these next to each other, then the emphasis goes on the first one. Shomeret. Shomeret. So, the formula, notice that you have your three consonants. Notice that they stay the same. Okay? your three consonants stay the same. So here are your three consonants. At the top, choler, segol, segol. And this makes it feminine, singular, participle. The second way that it can be plural is you have the same consonants
Same way.
at the head. So you're going to, so basically this is your new consonant, this is your new ending, which tells you what, if you see a noun this way, or you see an adjective this way, it's feminine. Okay, what has to happen here? Well, you have to have this because this goes in conjunction with the head. So, what do you have to have?
The whole.
You have to have the cholim. This again will take the shiva. Shomula. Shomula. All right. So, one more for you. There's only one feminine form. There can be two. There's only one feminine plural form. There can be either of these is feminine singular. By the way, the second one I'll put here, the formula. Sorry. What am I doing? Like that. I was looking at the board cross-eyed a little bit there. So either of these is the formula of the singular feminine participle. Okay, everybody got this? You with me? Okay, so let's do plural feminine, and then I'll show you some. All right, we're going to pluralize this in feminine form. So first of all, it's a participle. What do you have to have?
The whole.
Cholet. So you know that's going here. Now, because it's feminine form, how must it end?
With the top. With the low.
So, and what is the last syllable? What did you say? Oh, so what else do you have to have?
Above.
The vav. Which vav? Vav cholet. Okay, so this is new. Okay, now you've got two vowels next to two consonants next to each other. Shiva. Shomrot. Very good. Shomrot. and this is feminine plural. So feminine plural will be your consonants stay the same. Cholem is added. The vav and the tav, and then the shiva. So, for homework, you have your words from a couple of weeks ago. Okay? I think there were like 15 words or something like that. Okay? 15 verbs from a couple of weeks ago. So, you need to take all 15 of those words and you need to do masculine, singular, masculine, plural, both forms of feminine, singular, and then feminine plural. Okay? So I gave you all 3 formulas, or all 4 or 5 formulas for that. So masculine, singular, masculine, plural. Feminine, singular, 2 forms, and feminine, plural, 1 form. And do that on all of your verbs there. Hey, y'all said you wanted homework assignments, man. I'm giving them to you now. We're moving up. We're the one that's raising her eyebrows at me. Like, are you insane?
No, the one that's looking for the words.
I will try to post the words online for you. Okay. Take 5, trade left.